Going on the Winners Win podcast? Your boy Loso 2.0, the copycat himself. Today we're going to talk about my good old friend Joseph here. And Joseph actually has a lot of stuff to say as far as his metaphysical definition, and going more into detail on his actual Hebrew and where he pops up in the Bible. So before I get started, I want you guys to kindly subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, like, and share, and comment below in this video. And if you listen to this any type of podcast platform, please leave 5-star reviews and leave a review, because I love to read your reviews and see how I can better myself. Let's go to our good friend Joseph here, right? Joseph means whom Jehovah will add to. Jehovah shall increase. He shall increase progressively from perfection on to perfection. So that's what Joseph means in his Hebrew definition, getting over, right? So Joseph, popping up in the Bible, first is the son of Jacob, elder of the two born to him by Rachel, and she called his name Joseph, saying, Jehovah add to me another son. And this was in Genesis chapter 30, verse 24. You can also see him in Genesis 37, 39, 41, 42, 46, and 50. Jacob's blessing of Joseph was, and this was in Genesis chapter 49, verses 22 through 26, Joseph is a fruitful bough, or bough, right? B-O-U-G-H. A fruitful bough by a fountain. His branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and persecuted him, and his bow abode in strength, and the arms of the hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. Let's go on to the next page here. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee, with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that coucheth beneath, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. So that was all in the Genesis. Now, it says, it looks like he possibly in Deuteronomy as well. And Moses blessed the tribe of Joseph through his two sons as follows. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verses 13 through 17. Blessed of a Jehovah be his land, for the precious things of heaven for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath, and for the precious things of the fruits of the sun, and for the precious things of the growth of the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the everlasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and the fullness thereof, and the goodwill of him that dwelt in the bush. Let the best blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. The firstlings of his herd, majesty is his. On the horns of the wild ox with him shall push the peoples, all of them, even the ends of the earth. And they are in the tens thousands of Ephraim, and they are thousands of Manasseh. And both Jacob's and Moses' blessing upon Joseph, where the text says that they were separate from his brethren, the margin gives that is prince among his brethren. Now, B, what he pops up to as well, a follower of the Christian doctrine, surnamed Barnabas by the apostles. He was companion of Paul's in many missionary journeys, and that's in Acts chapter 4, verse 36. C, husband of Mary, the mother of Jesus, Matthew 1 through 19. Joseph of Arimathea, a rich man and disciple of Jesus, who begged Jesus' body from the Pilate and buried it in his own tomb, which is in Matt chapter 27, verse 57 through 60. And Joseph called Barsabas, one of the two who were chosen to take the place of Judas Iscariot, but the lot fell to Matthias and not to Joseph Barsabas. Acts chapter 1, verse 23. Now, metaphysically, right? Now, I know that was kind of a mouthful of the different types of Josephs that there were in the Bible, because it was more than just a disciple of you're, one of the tribes of Israel. It was also the disciple or the husband of Mary and the father, and husband of Mary, the mother of Jesus, whatever. So Joseph metaphysically means the state of consciousness in which we increase in character along all lines. We not only grow into a broader understanding, but there's an increase of vitality in substance. So this is Joseph is us growing in all aspects of our life, which we should be chasing Joseph every single day. That's the dream, right? To chase him. That's the journey. Joseph is especially representative of the realm of forms. He was clothed with a coat of many colors. He was a dreamer and interpreter of dreams. The phenomenal was his field of action. Among the primal faculties of the mind, Joseph represents imagination. And imagination is definitely, how when you were a kid, it was always you can do anything that you put your mind to. That is Joseph. Joseph is your imagination. Joseph is what you can imagine your life looking like years from now. You already have that stuff. We work just like God. We see all that stuff, but we're just working backwards. The faculty has the power to throw onto the screen of visibility in substance and life forms every idea that the mind may conceive. So Joseph has the ability to create these things that were all once an idea, such as this tablet that I'm recording off of. While the imagination is a very necessary faculty and it's powerful and productive, yet is belittled and often derided and abhorred by the other faculties of the mind, while they are unawakened spiritually, while they are functioning in intellectual consciousness instead of true spiritual understanding. Joseph's brother persecuted him. So that's when Joseph's brothers, sent them away through Egypt to be in captivity and all the stuff like that, is because those other faculties basically persecute that one, their imagination, because of, there was jealousy and stuff like that. But if you're not awakened spiritually, your physical or lesser, basically more physical faculties of the mind will pretty much push that aside. Now, Joseph in Egypt symbolized the word of imagination and subconsciousness, or the involution of a high spiritual idea. Joseph in Egypt could be said to represent also our highest perception of truth, dealing with the realm of forms and bringing it in a more orderly state. So putting that imagination and putting it into some type of structure, right? Because we all need structure. I'm learning that at my job now. Joseph, our high ideal of truth, comes down into the Egyptian darkness of sense consciousness, and under the law will finally raise it into spiritual light. In the process, Joseph seems to die, but his bones remain. The substance of truth is an abiding presence, through its form may be lost to sight. So even though we can't see it, we still have that. It still has that presence with us. Where I was talking about the idea of becoming immortal, because you will constantly still be going through generation to generation to generation. So how often we hear people say that they do not now seem to realize such uplift that came to them when they first began to understand truth. We see it all the time, right? People are saying as they learn truth, they start to learn that stuff, they feel like everything else in their life starts to go better. Then they were so enthusiastic that they could think and talk of nothing else. They say that they demonstrate it for themselves and for others more easily than they demonstrate now. They think that they have somehow lost their grasp of truth because carnality seems so real to them. They are right in the place that was occupied by the Israelites after Joseph's death. Died. Truth as a thing part, a personality named Joseph, has disappeared, but it lives in his progeny in the land of Egypt, and his descendants are oppressed by Egyptians. We might say that the idea that make up the statements of truth that you have received have percolated through your mind, but the sense consciousness is ruling in you, and these children of Israel are oppressed. Instead of siding with spirit in every thought, you side with the carnal, and you build up a ruling state of thought that remembers, not inspiring truth. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who knew not Joseph. Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. So it's going more into truth, right? But truth cannot be destroyed, nor can true words and true thoughts ever be effaced from the mind that they are willingly receive them. The children of Israel multiplied in the land of Egypt in spite of oppression. The power became a great source of concern, and became a great to the Egyptians, who made their lives better with hard service and mortar and in brick. So that's really, there's a lot more to go into Joseph. Actually, a few more things, which we will pick up on our next episode. I want you guys to, read this episode, study it. You don't got to believe it, but that's where I'm coming in from. Keep killing it. Remember, you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.